Good day. I'm Maulani Rafin Sulu, Chairperson of Indonesian Association of Women with Disability, or HWDI. Indonesian Association of Women with Disability is deeply concerned with the current pandemic situation and the increasing violence occurred particularly against women with disabilities, and also the lack of studies that shed light on the situation during pandemic that take into account the gender-based violence against women with disabilities. Despite the rampant news of sexual violence against women and children with disabilities, COVID-19 pandemic has directly impacted all types of disabilities: physical, intellectual, mental, sensory, and multiple disabilities. Persons with disabilities experience the impact differently than that non-disabilities. It occurs due to the disproportionate access and opportunity in all aspects of life of persons with disabilities, such as reasonable accommodation and access that hinders most persons with disabilities to take an active part in societies. However, women with disabilities are even more adversely impacted by the pandemic due to the gender inequality that has taken its roots in society and restricted the movement of women to domestic realms. The most vulnerable groups of gender-based violence is women with autism spectrum and those with hearing, vision, psychosocial, or intellectual disorder. This condition is exacerbated by the unlikelihood of the victims to report the offense to the authority to their limited mobility and communication ability, which resulting in a possibility of repeated and long-lasting abuse. At the onset of COVID, HWDI collaborated with the Indonesian Service Providers Forum to collect data on gender-based violence through a focus group and a survey. The focus group's discussion was hosted online with 21 women with and without disabilities from 8 provinces, each of whom provides support for girls and women who are victims of gender-based violence. The online survey received 50 responses from 14 provinces. Through the online focus group and the survey, certain themes emerged about gender-based violence against women and the girls with disability in Indonesia. 80% of survey respondents experience violence occasionally and 4% experience violence almost daily. Psychological violence in the form of humiliations, 48%, and physical violence through beatings, 10% were most common. Those who experienced sexual violence reported that 70% was in the form of sexual harassment, 50% rape, and 10% sexual exploitation. 68% of respondents did not report their cases to the police due to stigma and lack of support. Most of the gender-based violence victims assisted by women providing legal support are girls with intellectual disabilities. The perpetrator is usually someone close to them. Women with disabilities, particularly blind women, are often not believed by police when they report their cases. Women with disabilities who provide legal support face stigma from victims' family, who frequently do not believe that they have the capacity to provide useful assistance. Offenders are mostly persons who are close to the victims, such as father, sibling, uncle, neighbors, and boyfriend. The location in which the case usually occurs are in the home. Victims that receive assistance are mostly underage, with age range between 11 to 18 years old. The analysis of COVID impact on gender-based violence against women with disabilities in Indonesia reveals several issues on the case handling mechanism, during the pandemic and existing issues which, during pandemic, have become even more important and must be addressed immediately. The issues of gender-based violence case handling during pandemic are divided into 5 classifications: victim assistance, inter-institutions coordinations, support for the victims, access to service and support, and judicial and law enforcement system. The analysis of these findings resulted in a number of recommendations such as strengthening and/or change of policies, the macro design of referral system or inclusive service programs, accessible and integrated institutional relations, reported mechanism during the pandemics, empowerment of women with disability in terms of reproductive rights and ability to protect themselves, and improving the data collection system for gender-based violence cases. I thank you.